Hello, every pony. I am going to read another story. This is going to be interesting. I was recommended Soft Candy by RagingSemi. More like Raging Hard On. Okay. There she is. Go for it. Scootaloo hesitated, then took a step backwards in hesitation. Stop being redundant. I already hate this story, thank you. Then another. I can't do it. She doesn't like me. I'm no good. Scootaloo backed up further, almost disappearing behind a corner. She's so beautiful. I have to. If I don't, I'll always regret it. The worst that could happen is that she'll hate me. At least she'll know who I am. She stepped forward again. She gulped, took a deep breath, and approached her. Her voice squeaked. Hello, Rainbow Dash. Huh? Rainbow Dash turned and looked... Well, no, don't scroll. I completely lost where I was at. This is retarded. Rainbow Dash turned and looked down. Oh, hey, kid, how are you doing? I was hoping... What? Oh, I'm fine. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. How are you? Oh, God, did I just blow it? Can't complain, Dash said. Hey, how about this nice day we're having? Scootaloo looked up at the sky. It was a perfect summer blue. It's pretty nice, I guess. Yeah, I did that, Dash bragged. So, what's up? I was hoping, could you ask a question? Sure, you can ask another one if you want to. What? Just spit it out, kid. I haven't got all day. I was hoping if I could ask you a question. Dash rolled her eyes but didn't say anything this time. I was wondering if you're not doing anything later, if you're not going to be busy. If I'm not going to be busy and I'm not going to be doing anything? Scootaloo was confused. Out with it. I was hoping and wondering if you weren't busy later and weren't going to be doing anything, then maybe you might like to go with me to the movie, or go with me to the movies with me? What the? The redundancy is hurting! Will you stop at the redundancies? Scootaloo opened one of her eyes. They had been both clenched shut as she got that sentence out. And maybe go eat something? Scootaloo took Dash's breath away. Oh my gosh, she said. Are you asking me out on a date? She snorted. Dash fell down onto the ground and laughed uncontrollably. Oh, poor Scootaloo. Scootaloo turned around and hastily started to walk away, keeping her face composed. It wasn't easy. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Hey, kid, Dash called after her. Scootaloo turned around to face her. What time should I meet you? What? Are you serious? Sure. I didn't mean to laugh at you. You just took me by surprise. You're all right, kid. You make me smile. What time is normal? Serious? Well, if we're gonna have dinner, I'd say around 6. Okay, 6. All right, kid. See you then. Meet you here. Dash took off into the air. Scootaloo turned around and started to walk home. She didn't notice it, but she started galloping, even though she was in no hurry to get anywhere. I make her smile. I make her smile. I make her smile. And will this table do? Apparently it changed scenes. And will this table do, madames? The waiter pony waved his hoof. Okay. Oh, yes, thank you, Scootaloo said. Dash and her sat down. The waiter handed them the menus, spent a long time describing the evening specials, and rushed away to fetch their drinks. Wow, said Scootaloo, peering around the candlelit gloom of the fancy French restaurant. Isn't this place great? Yeah, it's okay, Dash said, not paying much attention. She was reading through the menu. I think this is just about most nicest... I don't know. The most nicest place I've ever been. The French Palomino? Meh. It was hot stuff 3 or 4 months ago. All the better places had lines out the door. Scootaloo looked around at the fine cloth napkins and the free bread before her. This was quite a bit more classy than the fast food places that she was used to. Well, thanks for recommending it anyway. Rainbow Dash looked out from over the top of the menu. You don't get out much, do you, kid? No, this is my first date. No, I mean out. Out. Not a lot of restaurants or nightclubs or anything. No, Scootaloo sighed. Does it show? Stay cool, Scootaloo. Stay cool. So, Scootaloo decided to change the subject. Can I ask you something? Yeah. Dash's attention was turned back to the menu. This is my first date. Yeah, I know. You just said that. So I was kind of wondering, am I supposed to order for you? Because I'm the one taking you out? Order for me? You decide what I'm going to eat? Are you kidding? Maybe if this was some old-fashioned movie or something. Oh, Scootaloo said, looking down. Dash saw her face change and almost felt a little sorry for her. More to the point, nothing on the menu was catching her eye. But, tell you what, Dash said, putting down her menu. Since it's your first date and all, super special, how about you go ahead and order for me? Make it good, though. Better make it snappy. Here comes the waiter. Okay. The waiter stopped at their table before Scootaloo could reopen her menu. Have you ladies decided what it is you'll be having this evening? Yes, I will have... Scootaloo ran her eyes over the options. The eggplant steak. And how will you be having that this evening? What do you mean? I want to eat it. The waiter rolled his eyes. Rare. Medium rare. Medium. Medium well. Oh, medium rare, please. Very good. And the lady will have the carrots thermidor? Okay, whatever. Excellent, madame. The waiter took the menus and whisked himself away. Lady? Dash asked. What? Carrots thermidor? Dash said. Uh-huh. Carrots? Uh-huh. You like carrots, don't you? Scootaloo asked. On a first date? You really do know all the cliches. Moving a little fast, aren't you? Oh, God. She knows about ordering carrots on a first date. Change the subject. I like eggplants. So, Rainbow Dash rested her front knee on the table and her chin on her hoof. What are you and the lady going to talk about while the kitchen is buttering up her carrots? Scootaloo said, Flying? Rainbow Dash's eyebrows raised. It was the first time in all her experience in dating that Scootaloo had hit one out of the ballpark. They enjoyed a fine conversation, with mostly Dash speaking about the joy of flying. 2 salads, 2 entrees, and single shared dessert later, both ponies were ready to leave. So, we're going to the movies next? Dash asked. Yep. What are we watching? I don't know. I didn't know what time we'd get done, so whichever one starts first. I kind of wanted to see. You'll check, madame. The waiter left the check on the table and walked on. Oh, thank you, Scootaloo said. She turned to the check to look at it. Her heart skipped a beat. The whole restaurant grew incredibly hot, and she started to sweat. She had a horrible, nauseating, sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach that only grew worse and worse. Her eyes started to water. She said as her voice cracked. It didn't go unnoticed by Rainbow Dash. You can't pay for dinner, can you? She asked. Uh-oh. I didn't think it would be so much, she sniffed. I didn't see the prices on the menu. Well, then I guess I'll have to pay for it. She slapped some bits down on the table, enough for the check and the tip. The waiter came swinging by and scooped them up. I'm sorry, Scootaloo said. Don't worry about it, kid. I should have figured you couldn't afford this place. You're gonna have to pay for the movies, though? Oh yeah, you bet. Scootaloo cheered up, hoping to redeem herself. Sounds good, Dash said. And the next time I'll get the movies and you get the dinner. Come on, let's get going. They both stood up, and Dash led the way out of the restaurant. Next time? There's going to be a next time? There's going to be a next time. Wrecked him. Wrecked him? What? So the enormous projected image of the Cletus, the Wonder Mule, dumb near killed him. What? I have no idea what's going on in the story. The entire movie audience threw their heads back and laughed, with the exception of the older patrons. Rainbow Dash was among the latter. She looked down at the empty box of gumdrops they had both finished 20 minutes ago. She looked over at Scootaloo. She was rocking back in her seat and laughing with the rest of them. Dash rolled her eyes. Should I even be here? I think most of the adults here are parents. They probably think I'm one too. God, that's bad. I didn't want to break the kid's heart when she asked me, but now I'm just leading her on. I can't stand it in here anymore. Hey kid, come on, Dash whispered, standing up from her seat. What? Scootaloo whispered back. You gotta go to the bathroom? What? No, we're leaving, come on. But the movie's not over yet. Gee, you think? Come on, let's get out of here. Scootaloo followed Dash out through the double doors and into the hallway. I was watching that, Scootaloo started to whine. It was funny. Shh, Dash said, leading her down away from the lobby. Where are we going? Scootaloo whispered. We're sneaking into another movie. What? Scootaloo stopped in her tracks. We can't do that. Why not? We already paid for our tickets. Yeah, but for Wonder Mule 4? We can't go to another movie. It's stealing. Stealing? Dash turned to her once they had reached the next theater's alcove and ducked in. Really? Stealing? Are you kidding? Do you know what the worst thing that could happen to us is? Scootaloo shook her head. Worst thing that could do is kick us out. Have you ever been kicked out of anywhere before? Scootaloo shook her head again. It's not even that bad. It's kind of fun. Now come on. Live a little. Be adventurous. Dash swung the theater double doors open. The soundtrack poured out into the hallway. But, Scootaloo looked up at the poster. Wild Stallions? That movie's rated R. I'm not old enough yet. Rainbow Dash turned just long enough to shoot a wink at Scootaloo. What? Oh, this grammar. Then passed through the door. Scootaloo hurried after her, feeling a weird mix of fear and excitement. It was a wonderful feeling. Oh, Henny, the male lead sighed into the female's lead's ear. Oh, Rainmando? What the hell is with these names? She sighed back as he nibbled at her neck. Oh, Henny, he sighed as he planted kisses down her ribs. Oh, Rainmando. He moved lower still. Oh, Henny. He sighed one last time as he moved his face down behind her, between her hind legs, to plant the deepest kiss of all. Oh, Rainmando. She arched her back. Oh, Rainmando. Nice, Rainbow Dash thought. Nice. She squirmed a little in her seat, feeling more comfortable and a whole lot happier than she did in the last theater. I don't know. She looked over at Scootaloo. Scootaloo's eyes were as big as saucers. They practically bulged out of her head. Her mouth was hanging open as well. Dash thought about it for a moment. Scootaloo had looked like this pretty much since they had snuck in. Ever since that scene where the Yakuza? What the heck? I have no idea. Had sawed off the hooves of the male lead's crime-fighting partner. Maybe this is too much for her. Maybe I shouldn't have brought her in, especially for this scene. If the sign says she's too young for the movie, nah. I was younger than she was when I saw my first R-rated movie. Hell, I was younger than her the first time No, don't even think about that. You're not here for that. You're just playing along so she can have fun. Your situation was completely different. It wasn't right. You've got no business doing anything like that at your age. And yet, I had fun, didn't I? I enjoyed myself. Was I hurt? Sure, I was a little confused for a while. And maybe a little heartbroken, but that was a different situation. Is anybody else's experience really any different, no matter how much older they are? Rainbow Dash looked back down at Scootaloo. She was just a happy little filly. No, forget it. Don't make excuses. Don't give in to don't give in to temptation. Just err on the side of caution. For once in your life, just err on the side of caution. I have no idea if that's supposed to be something else. Up on the big silver screen, the female lead had just rolled over. The male lead was moving up on top of her. Rainbow Dash squirmed in her seat again. She tried to think about the movie instead of thinking about Scootaloo. The movie wasn't making it easy. It was starting to get fairly chilly. Dash picked up the pace a little as she walked Scootaloo home. I shouldn't have kept her out so late. This was irresponsible of me. It's probably past midnight by now. I should have had her home by now. What was I thinking? So, what was your favorite part of the movie? Scootaloo asked. Chase scene, Dash said. Definitely. I hadn't seen a good chase scene like that in a long time. They just don't make them anymore. How about you? Said Scootaloo. I think the part where the yaks are about to chop off Rainmando Corral's head. What? Dash said incredulously. You had your hooves all over your eyes the whole time. You were totally scared. Well, duh. It's rated R. It's supposed to be like the scariest thing ever. Dash snorted. That's nothing, kid. Scootaloo looked around at the suburban houses of Ponyville. So, this is pretty much my neighborhood. I'm just about home. You can go home now yourself if you want. I can make it home in no time flat. Are you kidding? Rainbow Dash's voice raised. Do you know how many weirdos there are out at night like this? I'm not just going to let a little filly walk home alone after midnight. You think I'm nuts? Okay, Scootaloo sighed. They continued down the darkened streets in silence. They turned down a narrower street. Dash looked around at the street sign suspiciously, but followed Scootaloo anyway. So this is my street. You can leave me here. Home, Dash said sternly. Okay, Scootaloo moped. They walked down the lane. It took some time. Dash looked around at the houses. She wasn't even sure this was the right neighborhood, but Scootaloo was leading the way. Scootaloo kept looking at each house as they passed on the right. Finally, okay, Scootaloo stopped at the front gate. This is it. It was the only house with any light on. Really? Dash asked. I thought you lived somewhere else. Nope, Scootaloo said. So, I guess I'll see you around? Maybe tomorrow? Maybe, Dash said. I guess we'll see. I'll give you a call. Well, bye, Scootaloo said cheerfully. Bye, Dash said. There was a long pause. Aren't you going home? Scootaloo asked. Aren't you going into your house? Dash returned. Okay. Scootaloo turned to open the gate. She fumbled awkwardly at the latch, and then walked up the front path. She kept looking back over her shoulder at Dash. She climbed up the porch steps, and then she just stood there. Scootaloo waited. Rainbow Dash waited. It was a long wait for such a chilly night. After a standoff, Scootaloo came walking back down the front path to Dash. Well, Dash asked, are you going to explain it to me, or are you going to make me ask? This isn't my house, Scootaloo said, close to tears. So then why'd you bring me here? Scootaloo mumbled. What was that? Dash asked. I can't go home. Why is that? Isn't your mother expecting you? Didn't you tell her you'd be out late tonight? Again, Scootaloo mumbled something. Speak up. I told my mom I was going to spend the night at Sweetie Belle's sister's house. Scootaloo explained. She doesn't know I'm out with you. Are you serious? Dash nearly screamed. For crying out loud, come on, kid. I'm taking you home. Your real home this time. But I can't, Scootaloo tried after Dash. And why not? Because my mom's boyfriend is staying over. She got really happy when I said I wasn't going to be there tonight. She only gets that happy when I stay over at my dad's house. Dash sighed in frustration. Fine, I'll take you to Rarity's boutique. she said, turning around and walking in the other direction. Wait. She stopped before Scootaloo could stop her. Rarity doesn't even know you'd stay. Rarity doesn't even know you said you'd stay over, does she? Scootaloo shook her head. Great. Well, I can't just take you over there and drop you off. What on earth am I going to do? I could stay at the clubhouse, Scootaloo said meekly. Clubhouse? You mean Applejack's old treehouse? Forget that. You're coming home with me, kid. Oh, snap. This is going somewhere. Rainbow Dash looked up into the sky. Scootaloo followed her gaze. Rainbow Dash's cloud house drifted over them. The dark mass was barely visible in the weak moonlight. All right, kid. Might as well hop on. Scootaloo jumped onto Rainbow Dash's back and positioned her legs out of the way of Dash's wings. You can at least hover, can't you? I've seen you flapping those little chicken wings of yours. Yes, Dash, Scootaloo said. She started flapping her wings, helping Dash at least carry her up to the cloud. For Scootaloo, it was exhilarating. Dash barely even noticed she had done it. A minute later, they were both walking through the halls of Dash's home. Scootaloo staring around wide-eyed. What? And Dash was pulling old blankets out of a closet. I love cloud houses, Scootaloo said, excited. Uh-huh. Someday I want to live in one. That's great. Sometimes on weekends, I visit my dad in Cloudsdale. He's got an apartment, but it's still really neat. So listen, you crash on the couch. It's pretty old, but whatever. You hungry again? Need anything else to eat? I don't have much. Nah, I'm okay, Scootaloo sat down on the couch. Hey, this is pretty comfy. Dash shrugged and sat down next to her. Yeah, it's pretty good. I guess it's pretty worn in, and that's what makes it comfy. There was a long, awkward pause as they both sat there, a foot or so away from each other. So, Dash said, folks are split, huh? Old man lives in Cloudsdale? Yeah, that was before I can remember, Scootaloo said. I don't get to see him very often, but when I do, it's really, really fun. What does he do in Cloudsdale? He's a police officer. There was another long pause. Dash? Dash, are you alright? Huh? Oh, sorry. Nah, I'm fine. I was just thinking. I can remember how that is. It's always tough when you're a filly. What is? Parents getting divorced? At least it was tough for me. They were divorced too? Really? No way. Sure they are. Why is that so hard to believe? Because your life is perfect. Hardly. Are you kidding? You're the best flyer in all of Equestria. Someday you'll be a Wonderbolt. You live in this awesome house. You have an awesome job. You've got some super cool friends. And you don't let anybody push you around. I've always wanted to be just like you, Rainbow Dash. I can't believe you used to be like me when you were a little. I guess when you put it that way, it makes a little more sense. You're a pretty cool, kid. Don't worry about it. Things will get easier. Dash put her leg around Scootaloo's shoulder and pulled her close. Oh, snap. Almost as soon as she let go again. Holy jeez, you're freezing cold, she said. She got up, marched into her room, and started rifling through her mess of a closet. I'm okay, Scootaloo called from the living room. No, you're not, Dash called back. We need to get some clothes on you. Pajamas or something. Ponies and pajamas. Make a picture. Artists, do it. Scootaloo waited as Dash threw clothes everywhere. I don't even have N pajamas my size. What? Alright. Whoever wrote this story, please fix it before I break somebody. I'm a grammar Nazi. Thank you. Why would I have pajamas your size? Wait. I know. What is it? Hang on. It's a surprise. Close your eyes. Scootaloo shut her eyes tight. She heard Dash return to the hallway closet, rummage through it some more, come back into the living room, and lay something out on the floor before her. "Okay," she said, "open your eyes." Scootaloo opened her eyes. "Whoa, that's awesome. Pretty cool, huh? What is it?" "That, kiddo, is my genuine, authentic junior speedster's racing uniform. It looks just like a Wonderbolt's uniform." "Ha. Well, color scheme is a little bit different, but it's thermally insulated, and the idea is the same. It will keep you as snug as a bug in a rug." Can I try it on? I've always wanted to wear one." "Heck yeah, that's why I brought it out. It's way too small for me." Scootaloo struggled to get herself into the uniform. Rainbow Dash helped her squeeze into it. She'd forgotten just how tricky it could be. Maybe it was even too small for Scootaloo. Suddenly there was a loud, long, unsettling sound of fabric ripping. Both of them looked into each other's eyes and winced. I'm sorry, Scootaloo said. Dash sighed. "It's okay, don't worry about it. I ripped it a few times myself. There's probably an old stitch that tore. Let's get the rest of it on." Dash helped Scootaloo pull the cowl up over her head and get her ears through the holes. "There. How do I look?" Scootaloo asked. "You look awesome." Scootaloo shot her a pearly white smile. "Now, how about you turn around so I can see the damage?" Scootaloo turned around to position for Rainbow Dash. Oh my gosh. The thoughts of the damage to the uniform were completely erased from Dash's brain. She didn't care anymore. The uniform had been torn from the tail hole on down. I see. Scootaloo's little round butt was sticking out. Her little purple tail was hanging down between her cheeks. She was practically sticking it in Dash's face. "I've tried to hold myself back all night. I don't care anymore. This is too much. Too much. Why is it always sexier when they're wearing clothes? Oh God, her flanks are so bare. Oh, I just want to squeeze her and kiss her and lick her and... How do I look?" Real good, kid. Real good. It's not torn?" It is. The tail hole was torn, but it will be an easy fix. I'm sure Rarity can patch it back up in a flash." "Hey, can I buzz around your house?" "Sure, don't knock anything over." Scootaloo started flapping her little wings furiously, making a little buzzing noise. Even her little wings are adorable. I want to bury my muzzle right into them. Scootaloo produced enough lift to get herself up on the tips of her hooves. Then she started scooting around the floor. This feels awesome. It's not getting in the way of my wings. It's designed that way. How about you cruise down the hallway, hotshot? Scootaloo went flashing past Dash's face, turned and went cruising down the hallway. Rainbow Dash had a clear view of Scootaloo's exposed butt. Her hind legs were being dragged on the floor behind her, and the little crease where the bottom of her butt cheeks met the backs of her thighs was accentuated. It made her whole ass seem even more perky and cute than even when she was standing still. Scootaloo turned back around at the end of the hallway and came racing back. She ducked into the kitchen and buzzed back into the living room through that way. She stopped right in front of Dash. "This is amazing." "Hey, your posture's all wrong," Dash said. "What?" Your legs need to be tucked up." "But I can't support myself. I'd just fall down." "Your wings won't get any stronger if you keep using your legs like a crutch. Tuck one leg up at first, and if you have to work harder, so be it. Now turn around." Scootaloo turned around again. Again, Rainbow Dash lost her train of thought. She could feel her mouth watering. The animalistic part of her brain wanted to jump on top of Scootaloo right now, wrestle her to the ground, shove her face right between those sweet little cheeks. She rubbed her thighs together. She was feeling a little wet between her legs as well. "Your tail," she finally said. "Huh?" "Your tail. It's hanging down. The tail hole is torn, and it's just hanging down. In flight, your tail would be sticking up more. Oh, snap. Scootaloo lifted her tail. Like this? It's not even important. In flight, the wind would take care of it. Just a little bit higher, kiddo, Dash said. Scootaloo lifted it up higher. High enough to afford Rainbow Dash a view of everything. Dash's heart skipped a beat. She was beautiful. Dash felt herself starting to sweat. Her little pussy was just 2 little tight folds. What? Redundancy, even in sex, is bad. Dash thought that most of her excitement was because it was forbidden fruit. She wasn't supposed to be looking at it, but here it was. Dash also knew that part of it was because it just looked so good. It was a pretty little pussy. Scootaloo's little puckered butthole was right above it. Dash wasn't really even into that, but somehow, in this context, it drove her wild. Scootaloo's whole body seemed so clean, so pure, so fresh, so young. Rainbow Dash closed her eyes and took in a deep breath through her nose. Do I look okay now? Scootaloo asked. Sure, Scootaloo, Dash said absent-mindedly. Go for it. Scootaloo buzzed down the hall again. This time she went slower as she had one leg tucked up underneath herself. Her little hooves dug little furrows in the cloud floor. She turned and came back with a huge smile on her face. Dash didn't realize until the last second that Scootaloo was intent on crashing into her. Scootaloo bowled her over backwards and landed on top. Dash tickled her and both of them exploded with laughter. They nearly choked, laughing so hard. Scootaloo caught her breath laying on top of Dash's body. She let out a little yawn. Dash watched as Scootaloo's tiny mouth stretched wide open and then closed. The sight of it made Dash yawn as well. All right, Dash rolled Scootaloo over. I think it's time for bed. Okay, Scootaloo said, a bit mournfully. She hopped up onto the couch and turned around in little circles, fluffing the cushions. Hey, Dash said as she walked down the hall. Yeah? Why don't you forget the couch? Come on, you can sleep in my bed tonight, with me. Oh dear. Scootaloo was shocked. Her mouth hanged open. She was filled with a million questions. Okay. Bye. I just had to tell a friend goodbye, but okay. You mean it? Really? Right now? Do you just want to sleep? Or do you mean what I think you mean? Is this it? Really? Right now? She never asked any of them. Instead, she hurried after Rainbow Dash and into her bedroom. Dash turned out the lights. Then Scootaloo found her way to bed and slid beneath the covers. Scootaloo was on her side, her head resting on the pillow. She could just make out that Dash was doing the same, only facing her. In the darkness, Scootaloo could make out that Dash's eyes were wide open. Both were peering into each other's faces, although neither could hardly see. There was a long pause. It wasn't awkward this time, though. It was comforting. Scootaloo could hear Dash's breath. She could feel it against her nose. She could feel the warmth of her body, despite the space between them. So, Dash finally said, your first date. It's finally coming to an end. Yeah. Scootaloo said, I guess so. Was it good? I mean, did I do okay? Said Dash. The carrots were a little overdone. And that first movie was a real stinker. But I guess overall it was pretty cool. Yeah? Would you go on a date with me again? What about you? Dash ignored the question. It was your first date. Did you have fun? Oh yeah, I had lots of fun. It was the best first date I ever had. Right? I mean, I guess it was fun. You guess? Well, out with it. It really doesn't feel like it's over yet. There's something that's still supposed to happen. Oh yeah? What's that? Well, in the movies, they always kiss on the first date. Scootaloo blushed, although Dash never saw it. I've never been kissed before. Dash waited a long time before responding. She could see the whites of Scootaloo's eyes. They were darting back and forth just a bit as Scootaloo looked first into one of Dash's eyes and then the other, back and forth. Waiting. Scootaloo, Rainbow Dash asked, uncertain of the question she really wanted to ask, uncertain deep down of the response she wanted to get. On a certain level, Dash was as nervous as Scootaloo. Would you like me to kiss you? Would you like me to be your first? Yes, please. Scootaloo blurted out quickly. She had never been more certain about anything. Dash reached forward. She slowly pursed her lips. Her eyelids slowly descended. Her lips met Scootaloo's gingerly, right at the tips. She could just see that Scootaloo's eyes were wide open as her own eyes finally closed. Dash pressed her lips a little harder into Scootaloo's. Even her lips are small, Dash thought, and firm. They kissed for a long time. Dash didn't know how long. It was a lot longer than she normally bothered to kiss anymore. Since back when she was a kid herself and kissing really meant something special. She held back her own impatience. She pushed and flexed gently with her lips, and Scootaloo slowly got the idea. Scootaloo pressed forward into Dash's lips for a while, and then retreated a bit. Dash broke the kiss. She pulled her head back. Her eyes had adjusted into the darkness, and she could make out Scootaloo's face clearly. Scootaloo's eyes were closed. Her lips will... I don't know. Grammar. Her lips were still pursed in a phantom kiss. Slowly, she opened her eyes. Wow, she whispered. Your first kiss, Dash said. How was it? I don't think I'll ever forget it. There's a good chance you might, Dash said. Scootaloo shook her head. So Rainbow Dash showed her why. Dash kissed her again, a second time, and a third. Each time she pushed it a little bit further. Each time Scootaloo responded a little bit better. On the fourth kiss, Dash opened her mouth. Scootaloo opened hers. They opened and closed their mouths as they mashed their lips together. Dash slid in her tongue. Scootaloo's whole body jerked in surprise and excitement and unexpected pleasure. Dash's tongue poked around at Scootaloo's and prodded it. She coaxed at the end until it started to respond. Eventually, Scootaloo was pushing Dash's tongue back into her own mouth. Scootaloo was learning a kind of give and take. Scootaloo was getting excited. Dash could feel her little heart pounding in chest. She was pushing her body up against Dash's, pressing into it and squirming around. Dash ran her hoof down Scootaloo's mane. She rubbed down her back and to her wings. Scootaloo's stiff little wings were sticking straight out. Dash tried not to break the kiss by smiling too hard. She ran the edge of her hoof up and down one of her wings, stroking it. She was surprised by how something so little could be so firm and erect. Dash moved her hoof lower. She rubbed it around the plump little curve of Scootaloo's ass. She pressed down at the base of her tail. Again, Scootaloo squirmed. Dash slid her hoof down the lengths of Scootaloo's tail. Scootaloo raised her hind leg up, and Dash pulled it through, up and between Scootaloo's leg. Dash reached down with her other hoof and pressed the long hair of Scootaloo's tail between her front hooves. She pulled at it. Scootaloo grunted and shoved her tongue further into Dash's mouth. She pulled again, and there was another little grunt. She pulled a third time, and Scootaloo gasped and broke the kiss. Her mouth hanged open as she shoved her face into Dash's shoulder. Dash didn't have time to tug on it anymore. She just hold it taut. Scootaloo was doing the work. Dash looked down and watched as Scootaloo was grinding against her own tail as it was pushed up between her hind legs. It was as if primal instincts, were taking over Scootaloo's body. She was humping herself on her tail even though she had never done it before, and had never been told how. All she knew was that it felt good the way her clit was rubbing up and down her tail. She hadn't know she could feel her body flexed on her own. Scootaloo reached a new level of passion when, while still grinding away, Dash plunged her tongue into her throat. Oh dear, that's painful. Scootaloo pressed her lips down on it and almost tried to suck it in further. She was overcome, and she pushed hard into Dash, rolling her onto her back, with Scootaloo on top. She planted kisses all over Dash's chin and neck, and buried her nose into Dash's coat. Dash? Scootaloo sighed. Yeah, you remember in the movie when the stallion was in bed with the mayor? What was he doing? Scootaloo's hips were still reflexively working, grinding her pussy against Dash's belly. You mean when he was on top of her? No, before, when he was kissing her. Down there, between her legs. What do you think she was doing? Was it what it looked like? Pretty much. Can I do it to you? Wrong too. Dash's own hips twitched reflexively. Her legs squeezed around Scootaloo's hind legs, and they were stuck down between them. She hadn't ever imagined that Scootaloo would want to pleasure her in that way. It took her by a pleasurable surprise. Yes, she whispered. Scootaloo started to work her way down Dash's body. She kissed her all the way down, just like in the movie. Her tiny wet pussy left a trail down Dash's belly, and then Scootaloo's body was pressed against Dash's pussy as she moved lower still. You're wet, Scootaloo whispered, as her face hovered over Dash's cunt. So are you, Dash whispered back. I felt it. And then Rainbow Dash felt Scootaloo's hot little tongue plunging into her love. Dash had to bite her own lip to keep from howling out in ecstasy. Scootaloo licked deep inside. She licked all around. She was sloppy at first, totally inexperienced. She was exploring and experimenting, and she was fascinated with it. She was licking for her own pleasure, for her own fun. Rainbow Dash was patient with her. Then slowly, Scootaloo started to watch how Dash would respond to each little lick. Now she was beginning to realize that she could pleasure Dash. Dash began to instruct her. At first, she spoke to her in half sentences, telling her what to do. Sometimes she would grab Scootaloo by the ears and reposition her. Soon after that, Dash began to show her how to do it. Scootaloo's muzzle was buried deep in Dash's pussy. Her mound of Venus pushing up, just at the bridge of Scootaloo's nose. But Scootaloo's big, dark, gleaming eyes were looking up at Dash. Dash was sticking out her tongue, demonstrating to Scootaloo what to do. She stuck it way out, and just twitched the lip of it up and down. Scootaloo repeated the motion. Dash wagged her tongue, left, right, up and down. She drew it around in little circles and big ones. She darted her tongue in and out quickly. She pressed her lips together hard and sucked. Each time Scootaloo copied the behavior in detail. Scootaloo found just the right spot. Dash rolled her head backwards. There, she whispered. Just like that. Don't stop that. For a brief moment, Scootaloo flew solo. She had nothing to go by from watching Dash's face. Just nothing except that last instruction. Dash's hips began to pump upwards, rubbing her clit against Scootaloo's tongue. Scootaloo was unsure of what to do, so she didn't stop licking exactly as she had been. Dash started to moan, but still Scootaloo kept at it. Then Dash let out one long scream, and Scootaloo didn't stop despite the surprise. Finally, Dash's body relaxed and seemed to melt down into the bed. Scootaloo never stopped once, not until Dash reached down and pulled her forwards, so she could kiss Scootaloo on the lips. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dash sighed. Did I do good? You were wonderful. Now it's my turn, Dash said between kisses. Wait, what? You want to do it to me? Never in her wildest dreams had Scootaloo imagined that. She was still getting adjusted to the idea that Rainbow Dash, her own personal hero, even enjoyed her company. Do you want me to lie on my back? No, Dash groaned. Stand up. Just like that. Dash got up and moved herself behind Scootaloo, back behind the butt that she had been admiring so much earlier. Dash kissed a cheek. Scootaloo giggled. Dash kissed the other, but Scootaloo didn't giggle this time. She nibbled at each. She bit a little bit harder until Scootaloo flinched. Dash moved her head downwards. She started to rub her muzzle up between her thighs, up and down her pussy. Oh God, she gets so wet. Dash was taken by surprise. Dash moved her face upwards, pressing the tip of her nose against that little pert butthole she found so cute. Only then did she dart her tongue out and in. Scootaloo didn't scream, or moan, or gasp, or make any sort of noise. She was too overwhelmed. Dash's wide tongue glided up and down the cleft of her pussy, tickling at her clit each time it darted out. Scootaloo had no idea anything could feel so good. She started to feel a sensation welling up inside of her. Dash was in heaven. She couldn't remember having so much fun while giving before. Scootaloo's... Oh, that's my phone. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. Scootaloo's pussy tasted so good. Her little delicate frilly lips slid smoothly along her tongue. Scootaloo was getting close. She could tell by the way all those little muscles in her body were twitching and flexing. Dash grew even further excited, and she realized she was about to give her... that's my phone again. Stop it. To give this filly her very first orgasm. Scootaloo laid down on her front legs, but kept her ass stuck way up high in the air for Dash. Then she started to make a noise. It began as kind of a squeak, or squeal, way back in the back of her throat. It rose, not into a scream or a gasp, but as a long shout. Ah! Scootaloo called out into the night. Scootaloo, for the first time in her life, came. Her tight little pussy squirted onto Dash's chin. Dash smiled, but she didn't stop until Scootaloo finished coming and flopped over into the bed. Wow, Scootaloo gasped. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What was that? You just came, Tiger. Dash smiled. I don't know what happened. That was amazing. Did you come too? Sure did, Hotshot. Can we come again? Dash laughed. You don't want to get some sleep? Scootaloo shook her head. All right. Well, stand back up. Scootaloo stood back up. She wasn't sure what Dash was doing. Dash was getting back down onto her back, behind Scootaloo. She spread her hind legs wide. Scootaloo still didn't really understand. Dash placed her hooves on either side of Scootaloo's rump and gently pulled her downwards so that their two pussies could rub together. Dash on her back, Scootaloo from behind. Scootaloo got it. She started grinding against Dash's pussy. It was so much different than her own tail. Her soft, so wet, so warm. It was better. Dash pressed her hooves into Scootaloo's flanks and helped her. On into the night they made love. Rainbow Dash gave Scootaloo her second orgasm, and her third, and... You ready? Dash asked. Scootaloo looked down from the edge of the cloud. The ground looked very far away. I'm scared, she said. I know how you feel, Dash said. It's a pretty big plunge, but don't worry. I'm here to look after for you. The wrong type of here. Do it like I say, and everything will be all right. You got it? Scootaloo looked up at her anxiously. You promise? Promise. Dash smiled. Okay, let's do it real fast. Before I changed my mind. Scootaloo flapped her wings. They buzzed loudly. 1, 2, 3, Dash shouted, and they both leaped off the edge of the cloud. They both fell almost straight downwards. Ah! Scootaloo screamed at the top of her lungs. Woohoo! Dash shouted out. It had been a long time since she had gotten excited about a simple old dive. Ah! Scootaloo kept screaming. She was going too fast. Or she was going fast. Too fast. And they were only getting faster. Not yet, Dash shouted above the wind, above Scootaloo screaming. Not yet. Ready? Ready? Now. Both of the Pegasus ponies pointed their nose upwards, pulling out of the dive. Scootaloo was flapping her wings madly. Dash simply had hers outstretched in a gentle glide. Scootaloo stopped screaming, too exhilarated to bother. Their downward motion was converted to into horizontal flight. They were cruising just above the surface of the ground, faster than Scootaloo had ever gone before. Tears were streaming from her rapturous eyes. For one brief moment, Scootaloo actually flew, and then her hooves touched the road, and she was forced to sprint faster than she had ever ran, just to keep from tripping head over heels. Finally, she was able to slow to a halt. Rainbow Dash flared and landed right next to her. A perfect 4-point landing. Wow, Scootaloo shouted. Dash just smiled. That was awesome. You ain't learned nothing yet, kiddo. Wow. Alright. Well, listen. You better get your little butt over to Rarity's house. So it looks like you at least spent the night with Sweetie Belle. Well, I guess I'll see you later. Wow. Scootaloo shouted as she started trotting off to the carousel boutique. Oh, hey, Dash? She stopped and turned. Yeah, kid? Can we do that again? Scootaloo meant the dive. Rainbow Dash misunderstood her. Sure thing, Scootaloo. But remember, this time you buy dinner, and I get the movie. Alright, I'll find you around 6. See you then. But before Scootaloo could open her mouth, Dash was off into the air. She wants to go out with me again, Scootaloo said out loud to herself. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. And that is the end of the story. I am now going to go bang my head against the wall at the horrible grammar. Even though it's probably wrote on a cell phone with autocorrect, it's not actually horrible. It's readable. That's good. I don't know what just happened, but the audio might be a little weird, so I might have to fix that. Thank you, Mr. Puff O'Reilly, for recommending this to me, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.